Today, I'm taking you through a baby registry. This is what I do. I grab one off Amazon. I go through all the products one by one, give you the pros and the cons. So if you're working on your baby registry, or maybe you just had your baby shower, getting prepared for baby, I'm going to help you out.
We first have a wrap carrier. I like a wrap carrier. They're pretty affordable. They're really small to store, whether it's in the diaper bag or at home. Roll them up real tight. Not a big commitment as far as that item goes. So next we have a swing. I actually prefer to skip the swing. I think they're kind of big and bulky in your home, and babies can just lay on a quilt on the ground. That's okay. So I would prefer to skip the swing personally. Then we have some very basic, very simple short sleeve onesies. These are 0 to 3 months. I like the neutral. I like the plain personally. So for me, that's a yes. Then we have a couple bath towels. I like how neutral these are. Once again, you never know what your second child's going to be, boy or girl. It's nice to just have very neutral items if possible. What you want with bath towels is bigger is better because they're going to grow up. Then we have a bath like rinse cup. You do not need this. Just a regular old plastic cup will do the job. The Angel Care bath support. We actually did have this one. It was fine. Any way you bathe your baby is a challenge. So good luck in that area. Then we have a changing pad. Now I will say that is a really good price, but what we did is we used a guest bed in our child's bedroom. So they had the crib and then there was a guest bed. We put a quilt on it and they're like diaper caddy, and we used that as our changing area and really, really loved that. So for me, it's a skip because we had a different situation and different setup. Next, you get a large box of wipes, always a great idea. Ooh, I love this booster seat for in the kitchen. So I like booster seat over high chair. This is very, very similar to the one we have. I cannot find the one we have anywhere. I don't think it's made anymore, but very similar. I like that the tray can store under if you want them to sit at the table with you. But then if you don't want them at the table, you can use the tray. We took ours on occasion camping. We took it to, I think, a park or two. And then this is small enough that say you're going to an aunt or an uncle's house and they don't have babies, you can take this instead of like not having a high chair with you or just making do. This is very easy to travel and go with you. All right, so we have one very similar. Absolutely love it and highly recommend a booster seat similar to this. If you are interested in any of these products, all the links will be in the description. Okay, so feel free to check them out. Then we have some like nipples to go on bottles. So bottle nipples come in different sizes. These are the 2 level. Then we have 9-ounce bottles right here. I like that they're 9 ounce. That way they start from birth all the way through. Some people get 4-ounce bottles. I don't recommend. Then we have a bottle warmer. I think you can live without this item. Everybody seems to want them. I breastfed though, so I guess I can't say too much on that. Then we have, I don't know if these are going to be burp cloths or washcloths. The fact that it's a 10 by 20 makes me think over the shoulder burp cloth, but I'm not sure exactly. I like that they're very neutral though. Then we have another pack of bottles. So you've got the Dr. Brown 8-ounce here, or you've got the Philips Avent. I say just get one kind because here's the thing. All these parts and pieces, you now have 2 sets of them. So I say start with one bottle and stick with it. Your child will get used to it. And if they really, really can't get used to it, then switch. Don't have 2. See, here they got the 4-ounce bottles. I would skip these because they will outgrow them. You can feed 2 ounces to a baby in a large bottle. Okay, it looks a little goofy maybe, but it can be done. Okay, so love the camera. We have a similar style one. The screen looks nice. I will say, if possible, if you are going to have multiple children close together, get a second camera. That way that you have 2 different cameras that go to the same screen. And if possible, get one as a split screen. You can see both rooms at the same time. So think ahead on that item if possible and get something that you think will be very doable in the long term. Next, we have a baby nasal aspirator. We don't have any products like this and we got by. If you have a really stuffy nose kind of kid, maybe you need it, but you might not. Okay, so don't get too many of these things just in case. Wait for your baby to actually need it. Humidifier. Again, this is not necessary. We don't have one. Our kids survived. If you live somewhere where it's really dry and they need it, okay. Or maybe they have like, really dry like boogies in their nose and you're like, I think we need a humidifier. But don't assume you need it. Next, we have the grooming kit. Now, I do have to say, these are starting to look a little bit better. In the past, they looked super, super cheap. This one's somewhere in between. I've definitely seen nicer ones. I don't love the grooming kit. I would actually rather you get the individual items that you're actually going to use and get a better quality of them. Okay, moving into bedding. So this is a mattress protector for the full-size crib and then a 2-pack of sheets. That is great. What I typically recommend is 2 of the waterproof covers and 2 to 3 sheets for the crib. Just my opinion. Baby can have blowout. They can, when they're older, when they're maybe 2 years old, they could get the flu and be vomiting. Things happen. And yeah, so you don't want to disrupt baby's sleep. You want to be able to get them right back in the crib. And so 2 mattress protectors and 3 sheets is my typical recommendation. Next, we've got a couple swaddle blankets. These match very nicely with the crib sheets. Now, some people actually swaddle their baby in these. Most people don't. It depends on the fabric, but for the most part, we just use the swaddle blankets as kind of like a hodgepodge. Sometimes it was a blanket to tuck them in their car seat. Sometimes it was a burp rag. Sometimes it was even a nursing cover for me. I just kind of used it here, there, and everywhere. All right, for sleep, we have baby sleep sacks. So these are not swaddles, they're sleep sacks or wearable blankets is what some people call them. So you have movement, but you're just kind of covered up with that extra layer. 3 of them for under $30, not bad. Sleep garments, whether it's wearable blanket, swaddles, whatever, can get very expensive. So be very aware of the pricing and try to get your child used to something that maybe isn't absolutely outrageous, because that's going to hurt your budget later. I think this is one more fitted crib sheet. So they had that 2-pack and then they added this one in as well. Very cute. And then here is the actual mattress. Okay, great. All right, we are moving into some breastfeeding items. So the nipple cream is the #1 breastfeeding item I will recommend to any mama that is going to breastfeed. Okay, #1 essential item for me was that. Then we have some disposable nursing pads and then some reusable, like washable nursing pads. So I actually did have both and I did use both. And when I was at home, the washable ones were great. But then if we were doing a day out or we were traveling or anything like that, the disposable were nice to have. You can just chuck them and move along. Both the disposable and the washable can be great in certain situations. If you want to be more environmental, go for the washable. And then next we have the milk storage bags. If you intend to pump in any amount, you're going to want those to store milk in the freezer. And then the Boppy nursing pillow. I actually did it without a nursing pillow. I just used a pillow off our guest bed and I figured, well, when I go to restaurants, I'm not going to have one. And when I go out and about, I'm not going to have my nursing pillow. So I need to kind of learn to make do without it. At home, I typically used the guest pillow to help support baby when they were a newborn. But pretty quickly they get stronger, you get better at it, and you don't actually need the pillow sitting around, cluttering up your living space, and just kind of existing. It's not a small item to store. All right, moving into strollers and car seats. So we got a seat protector for the car. I like mine, I use mine, and I have cleaned out my car before and taken that car seat out. It's filthy. So I highly recommend. I think a seat protector is great if you care about your vehicle. Then we have the Graco Snug Ride. Okay, infant car seat. I assume it's a car seat and a base for $95. That's not too bad to me. My car seat and base actually came with a jogger stroller. So that's one thing to consider whenever you're in that infant phase. Do you want a car seat that goes with a stroller? Then here we've got some stroller hooks for hooking things on. Be careful. If you hook things that are too heavy, it can tip the stroller. Okay, so just be really aware of that. Then we have a car mirror. The price of this is okay, but I will say it's just the mirror. I have seen the new ones where it's a camera shining at baby, and then there's a screen up front for the adult to be viewing, and those are like $35. And those are going to have like night vision capability versus a mirror. You might not be able to see them in the dark. They also can kick the mirror. They can move the mirror a little more easily than, say, a little tiny camera that could maybe sit a little bit higher away from their little feet. So I would consider the fancier option in this case. I didn't use one. I used the mirror because the new product wasn't out yet when I was having my baby shower. Next, we have some little rattle wrist and socks things. Those are okay. If I had a sibling or a cousin or somebody that I knew that had a baby and like maybe they were passing down hand-me-downs, I would take those hand-me-downs. I wouldn't necessarily feel the need to buy those new, but that's okay. Then we got a 5-in-1 toys Montessori style. So I like some of these. This one, very interesting, but not my favorite. This one, a little more fun with shape sorting. I like the stacking. I like the blocks because a newborn can touch these and chew on them and grab them, but an older kid can still engage with them. I like toys that sort of like grow with your child versus like these rattles, for example. A 1-year-old isn't going to have too much interest in those, you know? That's how I think about toys. All right, next we have 2, it looks like different baby gates. So maybe one of their doorways is wider and they need something that's a little more like expansive. So 2 different baby gates. If you got stairs and you feel like you need gates, that is absolutely a good buy. Next, we got some high contrast for baby. You can do these or you can just put books up around them. You can just put stuff around them. You know, they don't have to have these books, okay? All right, next we have the Hatch Rest Baby Sound Machine. So we have the Hatch, we love it. There's a couple different generations of it. That one looks similar to ours. It's the tall version. The main thing is that it syncs with your phone, okay? Because you can set schedules, you can set different like modes, you can change the light and the sound. For example, in our children's rooms, they each have a Hatch. At 8 p.m., their light turns red and the like fuzzy, like white noise sound starts. Okay, I don't have to do it. It's set. It's on a schedule. But then when my child wakes up from a nap and their light's red during nap, I can go on my phone and hit it green, and then I go in and get them because green means wake up in our house. So absolutely love that. It was a huge part of our transition from the crib to the big bed. We got them used to it in the crib when we were in control, but then it helped them make that transition into the big bed, and they knew what the light meant already, and it helped keep them in bed during the sleep times. Okay, so great parenting tool. All right, we got like a 2-pack or 2-set of little feeding situation. We got silverware, cup, and plate. They look cute. I don't have any problem with them. I don't always like the suction cup plate. Hear me out on this. So in some situations, yes, it is nice to not have babies spilling their food. But also sometimes it's nice to just teach your children, we don't spill our plate. Hey, we don't spill our plate. If I had a place where I was going to use these, it would be at friends' houses and it would be at restaurants. At home, I would actually prefer not to use the suction cup. So just a thought. Some people, they think more long-term, and some people think, I just want a resolution to the current problem, and a suction cup plate means I don't have to clean the floor every day. So for them, that works. We didn't have any suction cup plates though, and we made do. Then we got an additional suction cup bowl set here, 3 of those. Again, same theory. Okay, we got a baby proofing kit. My goodness, that's got a lot of things in it. That's crazy. But hey, if that's what you need and it's only $40, like, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna diss on baby safety and child proofing. Then we have a lactation drink. That looks really yummy. I did not use lactation supplements of any form. The only thing I did was when I had my first baby, somebody brought over like lactation cookies that they had homemade for me. So I ate those, of course, because who's going to pass up cookies? But I breastfed successfully 2 different kids over a year each, and I didn't need supplements. I just made sure to stay hydrated, ate plenty of food, and my body did what it needed to do. Okay, next we have another plate set. Now, my only problem here is these plates aren't going to stack with these plates. Like, they're not going to be the same size. They're not going to fit perfectly. So for me, I like all my plates and bowls to like stack really nicely in the cabinet. I like the spoons to be the same, forks to be the same. Now, you could do an evolution of silverware, but I just bought one set and I bought a bunch of it and I was like, this is it. Ooh, I love these silicone pacifiers. I like how neutral these are. They're like kind of stylish. Like, you know, say you're just taking your baby to the park and they've got on just a plain onesie. No big deal. Cute. Say you're taking them to Christmas Eve Mass. Cute. Like, those look nice. I like that about them, and I like that they're very simple and just like not clashing with an outfit. You know what I mean? All right, we have Dr. Brown all-in-one sterilizer and dryer. Okay, not a bad price. I've seen these way more expensive. Now, I breastfed, so I can't talk too much on bottles, but I would probably still hand wash. I would not have got this item. I get stressed out by like clutter in the kitchen with the drying racks, the sterilizers. I would have hand washed them and I would have called it a day, but that is just me. Next, we've got a hat, mitten, and sock set. I would not get this. My reasoning, I hate socks on a newborn, unless it's cold and like you really need to. I didn't really use mittens, which, okay, you might need them a little in the beginning, but if you can buy sleepers that have the sleeve that has like a cuff on it or a mitt, that's what I would do. And then I just don't feel like you need a ton of hats. Some sleeper sets kind of come with a hat, and I would just call that good enough. I didn't put a lot of hats on my babies. More socks. So I'm not saying never put socks on your baby. I just was a fan of having a sleeper that was a footies attached type sleeper. So that was my preference, and I really did not enjoy putting socks on my babies. All right, next we have like a bottle cleaning brush. I think those are a good buy. You'll use them for bottles, and then you'll use them for sippy cups. So practical item. Now I'm a little confused. Why do you need the Dr. Brown drying tower? If you have that other sterilizer that should be a dryer, I don't think you need this. And already I'm picturing your kitchen and I'm like stressed out by the clutter. Not a fan. Then we have Dreft. My opinion on laundry detergent is if you are touching baby and you're holding them on your shirt, they're feeling that anyway. So I think whatever laundry detergent you're using, you should use for the whole family. Just my opinion, the washer, the mixing of loads, it's going to happen. So I would not bother with Dreft unless you plan on switching your whole family over to Dreft. Alrighty, and we are done. So that concludes this baby registry. If you need more tips and want a little more advice, click on the next baby registry coming up. Find a long one on my channel and try to get as much education and advice and my opinions that you can. Take the ones that align with your life, leave the ones that don't. That's totally okay. We all have a different home, lifestyle, and situation with our babies. So I just want to help you be prepared, have what you need, skip what you don't, and get ready to welcome baby into your life. And have a great day.